this is the homepage of the English version of Master New Media. So you have on the left column the magazine articles, an abstract from Robin Good TV, and the how-to guides. The how-to guides are one of the most interesting contents on his site, because there are high quality contents that he gives away for free for you to share. And another tool that he uses very much is My Syndicate. My Syndicate is a tool very useful for people who wants to stay up to date and deliver interesting content to their audience, catch emerging trends as they happen. Because it's an advanced feed RSS aggregator. You can fine-tune it, and through My Syndicate he manages to create very interesting and up-to-date posts. So, keys to his personal success. I've taken this one from an interview that he gave to 7th Floor, which is an Italian magazine. Number one, strong personal branding, as I showed you before. So being everywhere, going to parties, conferences, bar camps, show interest also for social causes. This arised a lot his group of his audience, and actually he's the only one that has in Italy such a strong personal brand that you can recognize everywhere you go. Number two, publishing, as I told you before, extremely interesting content. This may seem obvious, but what he does, as I mentioned earlier, he creates extremely interesting guides about Adobe Photoshop, about search engine optimization, about Google Analytics. Very interesting, high quality level, and he gives it all this content for free. So this creates an audience which is loyal, which goes back to his website. And finally, don't get me wrong, he's not copying like stealing. What he can't get on his site by producing by himself or with his authors, he aggregates with the tool that we have seen before. So he creates a live feed of interesting content, and he likes to call this activity News DJ. So mastering all this constant live feed of news, picking the news that he finds interesting and the content he finds interesting. So his magazine is both an interesting place where to find original content, and a place, a sort of directory or catalog where to find live links and live feeds. So that's it. If you have any questions.
And I was wondering if you can explain a little bit why the internet atmosphere in Italy is so little developed. Why aren't more people using the internet and blogging?
Well, there are essentially two problems: a cultural divide and a digital divide. So the digital divide is pretty much severe between the north part of the country and the southern part of the country. So we have this, you know, from Rome and down, there is a technical difficulty to access the internet with broadband, and even with all the slow connections. And then we have also a cultural divide, because you know, 40% of the Italian population has more than 55 years old. So it's quite an old country in terms of general population. Culturally, Italy is a country that tends to, it doesn't like very much change, innovation, technology. So institutions reject the new trends and the idea that comes from the internet. So all this freedom, all these people able to generate and create content is not very much endorsed, nor by the institution, but also in schools. Teachers are not very fond of tools like Wikipedia, Facebook. they tend to see only the negative side, and also traditional media continue to send negative messages through the news channels. They tend to talk about the negative happenings on the web, and not talking about the good things that the internet brought. So, for example, recently there was that guy that films himself shooting on YouTube, no? And our news channels passed the idea that he was a bad guy because he used YouTube. So there is this strange, point of view, and this creates a pretty heavy cultural divide. So even people who have actually access, as you have seen, they have access, but they use it in a pretty basic way.
Are there any more questions?
Hi, I'm Federico from Belgium. I'm wondering what's going on in the mobile world in Italy, because I always have this view of those Italians, they all have a cell phone. So are they in front of the evolutions there, or how's it going there?
Well, the mobile market, Italy is the first market for mobile phones, both in terms of penetration. So we have more mobile phones than landlines. We are the first market in terms of handheld sold, and we have a lot of competition between carriers. So there is a lot of use of the mobile phone as a tool to communicate. So the first revenue stream is voice, then we have SMS. Advanced use of the mobile phone is not very much considered. For example, mobile web is not used. It's not used at all. And there is a lot of now is slightly decreasing, but since the late 90s until a few years, 1 year ago, there was a lot of money spent on value-added services such as ringtones, wallpapers. So this kind of personalization of the mobile phone, a lot of we were the first market in the world of per capita spending. But also in the mobile industry, there is not a mature use of the technology. It's just a tool to communicate. The Italians are Latin culture, so they like to communicate. So that's it.
Okay.